What's your deal with them? Last time we were here, you hadn't talked to them.
They bought us a 2-seater bike. We haven't tried it yet.
A 2-seater?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm excited.
I just wanted to, let a bit of time go by after the disaster that happened. Coming back to Castle Bam unannounced, I didn't think that I had to announce anything.
Right.
But I mean, I was playing some songs with my brother in the kitchen, and his phone was connected to the Bluetooth. So I'm like, you got to hear this song. And I grab his phone, and his phone pops up with a 3-way conversation with, it was a recording studio at the time with Prince's soundboard.
Right.
So
right.
the 3-way is like, dude, we didn't know Bam would be back. We need to get him back to California ASAP. I mean, we have bands booked here, and he's ruining our program. We need to 5150 him for no reason or get him back. So I got so mad. So I'm sure my brother's story is Bam was drunk and out of control. Well, you keep forgetting the part where you wanted to 5150 me for no reason.
Right.
So, of course, his dumb girlfriend calls the police saying I put a bear trap on her foot, which is a death threat, apparently.
Yeah, he had like
even
a
though I put my hand
threat
in one and Jackass 2, and it didn't even break.
In her defense, that sounds like something you would do.
So
I have threatened people a lot. I've never threatened them with a bear trap.
So I know now that when I hear the police sirens coming, when they get me, I'm going to have to go back to treatment again because that's what happens on a 5150. They lock you up in a loony bin for 2 weeks, and then you have to go to treatment for 90 if it's Florida, but I don't know the rules in PA.
Right.
So I start running for the hills. I hid in a pricker bush near my house
hardware store
for about 4 hours until a squirrel woke me up thinking that I was dead. Then I hopped 8 barbed wire fences because I had to. It was the only way to avoid the streets because there was 8 police officers cars riding all over the place. So I had to avoid it at all costs. Then I drank the Brandywine River because I was dying of thirst. And then I slept in this box at a house that looked...
That's now our friend.
That nobody
She's
was
our
there.
friend now.
What is?
Where he was sleeping in the box.
So I was walking the dog the other day.
Right.
And she was like, hey, I just got to ask, when you were on that crazy manhunt with helicopters in the sky, did you wind up sleeping in because I was walking right past our house.
She's our neighbor, but they're
She's like,
far
did you
away.
happen to sleep in our garage? I'm like, you know what? I just She's like, it's okay if you did. I just want to know because I remember the dogs were barking that night and, there was some rummaging going on.
Right.
And so I assigned her a skate deck and put it on the
That's
front porch saying,
hilarious.
thanks for letting me stay at your garage during my manhunt against you.
And
What a
she
great
gave him
story.
The best haircut he's had in a long time. Shout out to Mary if you're listening. Best haircut Bam's had in a long time.
What a great story. You're not going to believe who was in my garage last night.
Yeah. But man, dude, that I have PTSD from that.
I'm sure. You were they were hunting for you.
So I basically walked through the woods about 14 miles till I made it to this Albanian restaurant that hid me in the basement. And then from there, I got transported to Fairman Skate Shop. And I wrote a random text, I forget to who, but I just wanted to see if they were reading my phone, like the police. And I say, I'm going to be at Fairman's. Pick me up there. So I hit a Jitters Sports Bar across the street so I could look out the window and see. As soon as I said, I'm here at Fairman's, the car pulls up. I go, is there anybody behind you? And they go, it doesn't seem like it. And they go, hold up. Yes, there is. 8 police officers surround the car. I run out the back of Jitters and come up with a different plan.
Mind you, if you've never been to this town, which I've only been a few times, it's very small.
Yeah.
So
Everybody
they all know
knows,
him. Yeah. So the Ace Hardware, I forget what I'm going to get, spray paint. They're like, how's Bam? He's great.
Do you know that this would be a great pitch for a TV show? Just find Bam.
Finding Bam.
You give Bam 20 minutes to go, and then you have the next 2 days to find him.
Well, you know what?
I could be stealth.
Yeah.
Believe me. I know.
Listen, not anymore because I have the bounty hunter's number, and Hulk Hogan said he'd come get him if I need him to.
Man,
so I have backup these days.
Better watch out. He might be more after you.
Listen, I love Sky. I'm okay with that.
Oh, speaking of the Hulk, he's going to come check out the art show. I told him I'd give him a free piece if he comes.
I love his wife.
Oh, that's
and
funny.
Nick Hogan.
Yeah.
Sky Hogan's amazing. She's
So that's in Ybor City.
Yeah.
And you're doing that. And then
7th Street.
And 7th Avenue. Yeah. And then at the Bricks. And then you're headed out. What? You got stuff going on in Daytona too?
So Tampa AM.
Tampa AM,
Tampa AM.
Yeah. And then we're going to Fort Lauderdale so I can see some peeps. If you're listening this morning, I'm coming for you.
Gotcha.
And then we go to Daytona.
Yeah. You keep an eye on her. You don't know what she knows around here. I don't know.
Listen,
you're making me nervous.
Don't make him. I told him, I said, you think you can disappear? I know where Turks and Caicos is.
She's friends with that hottie Rachel Utica.
You could tell.
You could tell.
Oh, yeah.
That's my girl. Misunderstood.
Oh, she'll hook you up. She's
so
connected.
Hottie. She's a hottie. I love her. That's my girl crush.
You guys doing weird sex stuff? You doing threesomes or what? What's going on?
I'm not into that. I'm not a sharer. I'm Sicilian. I'm very Sicilian Irish.
Also, she gets thrown around the room like a rag doll.
Yeah.
Is that it?
No, maybe in our 20s when we met, it would have been a little bit different.
Right.
I think we're adults now.
I feel like you definitely call the shots though.
Listen, I didn't marry him for nothing.
Right,
so anybody who's trying to get in my way, honey, please, you.
And I get yelled at sometimes if like 2 days goes by and she hasn't had her way. It's been 2 days and I haven't even get boned yet. Well, we've been busy.
Listen to me. You need to find the time,
It's
son.
a good thing to get yelled at, though. All right, well, I'll take 10 now.
For those who wake up this early, and to the ladies, he doesn't want to do a podcast with me. I'll talk to myself. I have no problem. But all women need coffee and that in the morning. And just shut up.
Yeah.
Like, just stop the talking.
This sounds like the best relationship
you know what
ever.
I mean? Like, I actually asked them to stir my coffee with it.
Yeah.
You know? It won't be too hot. And then,
Wow.
That's breakfast.
Get it, man.
Smarten up.
I usually hate traffic, but we're in Miami and we're stuck in all this traffic. She's like, oh, this traffic's making me so frustrated. I just need to get into a hotel, put your balls in my I love Miami traffic. Hotel right there.
It's 3 hour traffic. There's a lot to do in 3 hours.
Smokes. Man, you guys must be so fun to be. Now, who are these people?
So that is Morgan, who I was telling you, who was sitting on the plane with the fun fan who we can't wait to meet from Cleveland. She's actually, I stole her in Atlanta. She's worked with a lot of
Comic-Cons
and a lot of big names out there. So I stole her. She helps keep the negativity away from my days.
And now, is that your dog or their dog?
That's our new rescue dog named Noah.
What a
Blue,
beauty.
Margera.
From the Tampa Hurricane.
She's from your hurricane.
Oh, really?
So she
somehow made its way to Pennsylvania.
And Manny, by the way, we stole. He picked us up one time, and he's your local, and he was our driver in his amazing Tesla and let Bam jam out.
All right.
So then Bam stole him, and Manny's actually a huge fan of the show.
Oh,
so
great.
All right.
This all worked out perfect.
So Manny picks us up and makes sure that we're on time. Even if we're 5 minutes late, we know that we're not going to come in with one eyelash on.
We're all good.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are, I got to tell you, I'm out of breath just trying to follow along with everything you do.
It's a lot going.
Exciting life.
And then, from there, Daytona, we're just going to, I love Pennsylvania, but it's cold.
I'm really into this.
Who loves Pennsylvania?
It's
Nobody
cold.
loves you. I'm surprised you're still there.
It's horse country where he is.
Yeah.
So I love horses.
If you go 15 minutes
it's beautiful.
towards the west, you'll see a lot of Amish people.
It's cool.
Nowhere.
It's cool.
Okay.
But, and I've been in Florida for 18 years, so it's nice to get a little bit of, I got to see the seasons change this year, so that was really awesome. But it's 46 and raining, like this Miami tail.
I do want to avoid as much of the winter as I can up north because when there's a blizzard first time and you're snowed in, it's fun. But anything more than one time, I just want nicer weather to skate in. So now that we drove the murdered out Hummer here with a fully packed
dogs,
U-Haul,
we got the dogs.
Now we could just float around to skate spots and skate shops, and I could just post 2 days ahead of time, having an art show at, let's say, Stratosphere Skate Shop in Atlanta, Georgia.
Right, and then people just show up.
And then because people, I think they get more excited knowing they're having one in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Well, we live in Marietta. I'm going to call off work and head on down there. So spur of the moment, I want to.
And before if we have to go soon, Folly Beach, where I grew up, Charleston, South Carolina. Just to say how this works. He can paint things in 2 hours. I'll leave him in 2 hours and come back. There'll be 50 paintings.
Wow.
So we have this bird, and there's a saying that's "live like Jimmy," and it's just a legendary thing on Folly Beach. So he painted that and had the little ones for $100. He couldn't keep them.
Well, she bought me a stack of 50 of these paintings that were probably 12 by 12 inches. Foot by foot. So I kept drawing this bird, live like Jimmy, Folly Beach, South Carolina.
The locals loved it.
It probably took me a minute or two a piece to do these drawings on one. So I did 50, and I had this little bin of $100 bin of live like Jimmy Folly Beach birds.
They felt so special.
Oh, that's great.
And then they get to bring their decks.
$100.
The decks we have new unlimited decks that if everyone remembers the artist collaboration he did. Well, this is the last round, then we're going to do it again. So we have some decks with us.
We need a Bam
I have
painting
one for
the studio. That'd be awesome.
We have a deck for you too.
It's so funny. You would be lost without her. She's got everything organized and everything in order. I got to tell you, this. No wonder why you're so
Say that one more time, Mike Calta.
If you have the time, it'll be hung up till Monday. So if you want to swing by Bricks and pick one out,
why don't you go ahead and respond? You'd be lost without me. I'm still there. I'm still back there. Thank you, Mike, for saying that.
Honestly, because listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I was a fan of yours for a long time, and then you read about these things and you're like, I feel bad. I think this guy's. And then I saw you last year, and I was like, all right, he's got. Now it's like an entirely different person. You seem happier. And then she's like, I got 3 decks left. I got 2 discs. We got a handler. We got a driver. Now bring me back to Murdered Out Hummer. You have the Murdered Out Hummer here?
What is it? The purple Bentley SUV.
Right.
That's fun, but dude, if you drive from Philadelphia to Florida and back, you're already like decreasing a $200,000 car by $20,000 by doing that.
Right.
So I'm like, let's just buy a $30,000 Murdered Out Hummer and run it to the ground.
Oh, I used to,
and they're safer too.
And it's wider for the dogs. It's
like driving a living room. It was the best car I've ever owned.
Sleep in it if
I went through Escalades and avalanches and all. I tried all these things. I didn't love anything as much as I love that Hummer.
He's in love with the Hummer.
Yeah.
So
as long as anything has a dope stereo and some room, that's all I care about.
And you know what sold him on this one? It has stars at the top. The guy put stars.
I got that in my Sprinter. I love it.
I love it.
Oh, you have? Who has it? You?
I have it in my Sprinter. Yeah.
But man, I can tell you this. After owning 3 Lamborghinis and even the Ferrari, the stereo system suck in there, and it's so small that you could barely even fit a Pepsi in there.
What the Lamborghini had Alpines in it, didn't it? Back in the day?
I don't know, but I bought a brand new 2 of them, a Murcielago and a Gallardo, and dude, the stereo has no bass to it. It's just a standard stereo, and you could barely even fit a skateboard in the trunk. Like you cannot.
It's little.
If you plan on, you cannot fit any luggage. You could probably fit in a T-shirt.
Yeah. Bam could not hide out.
It's not a good road trip car.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm glad that things are going good for you. I'm glad that you're happy and successful, and that you're married now.
Married. Can you believe that? We're gonna have a fun wedding soon. Like I said, when I share the pictures, you're gonna freak out. Like the lady. Helen, I can say. She's a lady girl. She is the only female mechanic in Socorro, New Mexico. And she was also our notary.
Mechanic and
she's in zombie gear signing out. You can't even write this. So then as we're like planning this on set, everyone, like some people knew, some people didn't because we wanted it to be a surprise.
Right.
And the zombie, he's actually in a shot with me on my Instagram. If you go where I'm like in a bathing suit and they're behind me, the one to the left is who married us.
Oh, that's so
he like came up behind me. He's like, I can marry y'all. Like, and he's like, he was telling us he's like close to God, like this whole thing. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so crazy. So it was so meant to be. And then we'll do like the big thing when it's time. You seem
like such a normal person. How did you get messed up in this whole life? I think it's great.
Well,
things are meant to be.
Things are meant. I mean, I was just saying to Morgan, we were talking about it yesterday, that I don't know, because when you think about life that we live, I mean, I really don't know why I went to that pool party that day. I was not in the mood to go. Right. I didn't like the girls. I pretended I did. I know you hear me. I didn't want to go. My mom is the one that actually was like, you did not go to LA to stay in bed. And when have you ever let people bother you? Go. And then I put my big girl panties on. I looked at the dogs. I was like, I'm out. And then within like 2 hours, we met. I'm not gonna lie.
When you said big girl panties, I pictured your panties. Sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry. I'm getting those.
You can't. They're not. They're definitely not big. So
I didn't think they were. Yeah. Listen, you guys are the best. I love you guys. I love having you come here. You're always welcome to come here.
We're gonna be we're gonna be hanging out for a little bit on this side in the heat.
Good.
So,
Enjoy
stay in touch.
And say, Bam, stay sober. I don't want you to end up in solitary confinement or rehab or any of that stuff. Yeah. What's worse? I think I'd rather be in solitary than in rehab. People talking to me and having to tell stories.
Because rehab, you can go out and smoke cigarettes. Yeah. The food is actually A-okay. And you get to watch TV. And, there's things to do.
And I'm also going to give a shout out to RCA.
No, solitary, that's horrible.
You should thank RCA.
It's the worst it gets.
Yeah.
You should say thanks to RCA because they did really well. They were really good
shout
to
out
Bam.
to RCA.
They were really good to
Devin,
Bam.
Pennsylvania.
And Tegan, she was I'm still friends with her. She cares. They're not going to let him go.
Okay. All right, good.
He's got a really good team behind him. It's now up to him. He's off probation. I know the world knows because people can't stop dogging, but he's doing really well.
Well, listen,
So
Bam Margera, a skating icon, is in town. You'll have an opportunity to go see him at the Bricks in Ybor City on 7th Avenue. He'll be doing the AM tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Sunday.
I'm such an old man. I don't know what I'm saying.
Sunday. So in the daytime, the contest is happening at the skate park at Tampa. So, that usually ends around 5. Then all the skaters head towards the Bricks
to go
So
eat.
I'll probably be from 6 till 8, signing stuff, saying what up. But I mean, the art will be available there whenever it's open.
Okay.
You could go in and check it out and buy it. But
awesome. Well,
yeah, if you can make your way in, I'll give you a free item as well as Hulk.
And we're
Hulk
donating
Hogan.
towards the hurricane animals. So Brian and I
awesome.
are making sure that we have a proceed of what we have.
I don't want you to leave that dog here. That
Help
dog
out
is
the babies.
beautiful.
She is so cute, little Noah.
Oh my gosh.
She's been a blessing. She's
All right,
great.
well, you guys are the best. Thank you
We
for
love
getting
you
up early and
guys.
coming in.
Yay.
Hopefully we'll see you soon. We got to take a break. Brad Williams is here next. It's the Mike
Brad
Calta
Williams.
Show. It's 102.5 The Bone.